They are synonymous with living well, and the draw is to eat them raw.
Oysters, I've found in running this place, really do transcend class, they transcend race, they transcend age.
But Sean Chesney says for several months, customers stayed away, scared off by recalls of oysters contaminated with norovirus. The tainted shellfish were traced to just 14 growing sites out of about 500 in BC, but the tide of bad publicity hit an industry already hit hard by the pandemic.
It sits with the importers and governments and the food safety officials of other governments and other countries for much longer than it would with the consumer.
Finding and eliminating the culprit is a lot harder than it sounds. It can take as few as just 10 particles of norovirus to make you sick, but there can be up to 10 billion particles of norovirus in just 1 gram of human waste, about the size of a quarter teaspoon.
Test results for norovirus can take weeks, which is why oysters aren't screened for it before shipping. Instead, no less than 3 government departments oversee a raft of regulations to test the waters oysters are grown in and to prevent sewage contamination.
Shellfish farms have been closed as a result.
There's been an outbreak every year since 2016, except during the pandemic. 4 years ago, the cause was likely commercial fishermen illegally dumping onboard waste, according to the BC Centres for Disease Control.
We're not happy about this occurring again, and really we'd like to see more measures put in place to prevent norovirus getting into marine waters in the first place.
The Industry Association suggests scrutinizing more boats for compliance. Last year, in American waters adjacent to BC, the U.S. Coast Guard inspected more than 3,000 vessels of all types looking for sewage problems. Transport Canada conducted about 100 inspections of fishing vessels in all Canadian waters.
A lot of regulations, not a lot of enforcers.
But the cause may not be boats. Coastal housing and industry is pushing closer to BC's oyster farms.
So we start talking about leaky septic systems and stuff like that. Who's going to go check somebody's system? When the tide goes out, you see the...
Investigators say it could be several months before the cause of this latest outbreak is identified, and they believe another one is inevitable. Kurt Petrovich, CBC News, Fanny Bay, British Columbia.